On July 16, 1969, 3 brave souls departed from the planet Earth, destined for the Moon. On July 20th, astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin landed on the lunar surface, while the third astronaut, Michael Collins, remained in orbit around the Moon. The mission lasted for 8 days, 3 hours, 18 minutes, and 35 seconds, of which 21.5 hours were spent on the lunar surface. Immediately following the first lunar landing, many moon landing conspiracy theories began to develop. Many conspiracists believe that the moon landing was faked by the United States so that NASA could escape humiliation and continue to gather funding. It was also proposed that the Apollo program was designed to distract the public from the Vietnam War. One of the most commonly viewed claims by conspiracists is that of a picture of an astronaut as he descends the ladder on the Apollo lunar module. In the image, it can be seen that the astronaut is in the shadows of the lander, and yet is fully illuminated. Conspiracists believe that a fill light would have to be used in order for the astronaut to be visible, but due to the reflectiveness of the lunar surface, this is simply not the case. Conspiracists claim that the shadows cast by rocks in the moon landing photo should all be parallel, since there is only one light source on the moon. And since they are not, that more than one light source must have been used, and therefore the pictures were filmed in a studio. This is not the case. The moon's surface is not flat and is rather contoured and raised in certain areas. These contours make it possible to observe shadows cast at different angles from a single light source. A few popular arguments used by conspiracists arise from the altered behavior and dynamics of objects in a vacuum. One such popular argument is that of the waving of a flag that appears to be caught by a breeze while it is being planted on the moon's surface by an astronaut. Even though it appears to be moving in the wind, this is simply not the case. In a vacuum, air resistance is reduced, allowing simple forces to become greatly exaggerated. This is the case with the flag planting scenario. The astronaut applied a slight side-to-side twisting motion on the flagpole, which by both the design of the flagpole and the strong vacuum translated into a somewhat violent movement of the flag, leading some conspiracists to believe that the footage was taken here on Earth. There are many pieces of so-called evidence out there that are constantly being used by conspiracists to disprove the fact that humans have actually landed on the moon. Surprisingly, in a poll conducted in the United States in 2001, it was found that 20% of the people surveyed felt that man had never landed on the moon. That's just 8% less than what was found in a survey conducted in Russia a year earlier. When making a decision on what you should believe, it's important to look at the irrefutable, rock-solid evidence, such as the nearly 850 pounds of lunar rock collected during the Apollo missions, or the lunar rock that is still available today on eBay. The most convincing evidence is the undisputable third-party evidence like retroreflectors that were left on the moon's surface for use in lunar laser ranging experiments. Such reflectors were left on the surface of the moon by astronauts of the Apollo 11, 14, and 15 missions, and are used to accurately measure the distance between the Earth and the moon using lasers. Lasers here on Earth are aimed at a retroreflector planted on the moon during the Apollo missions. The time taken for the laser light to be reflected back to Earth is determined, and the subsequent distance is calculated. James Hansen's biography of Neil Armstrong does an excellent job of explaining the importance of this evidence, and I quote, "For those few misguided souls who still cling to the belief that the moon landings never happened, examination of the results of 5 decades of lunar laser ranging experiments should evidence how delusional their rejection of the moon landing really is."